another thing on our roadmap is expanding beyond just you bring us photos and we create the video, and you'll be able to edit your photos within AutoReel as well.
Ooh,
Exactly.
that's delicious. I
All in
love
one.
that. Welcome to Real Estate AI Coach. I'm your host, Courtney Polis, and I'm excited to have Alok Gupta from AutoReel App, the founder and CEO of AutoReel App, here on our podcast stage today. Welcome, Alok.
Awesome. Thanks for having me with you. Excited
Such
to be
a
here.
pleasure. You know, Alok, I have been just bombarding myself tasks of reviewing AI apps and tools. As you know, I think we talked
Yeah.
many weeks ago, months ago, maybe even last year is when we talked about your particular product. So for those of you who don't know, AutoReel App is a tool that turns static images into moving images using AI. So it would be a tool that you could use to automate photos in lieu of hiring a videographer to actually go out and shoot a property. The cool thing about it is, as a real estate agent, you can use 5 images, you can use 10 images, you can move the images around. So maybe you're starting each one, you're doing a whole bathroom series, a bedroom series. You could, change things around, just do the exteriors for one or whatever. The cool thing about AutoReel App is that I haven't seen a ton of products on the AI market that do this. And believe me, I have gone through so many of these types of products, but none that have the kind of output that I find interesting. So, Alok, could you just go into why in the world you created? I mean, why would you go from tech to real estate AI app thing? Like, what was that about?
Yeah, it seems a bit crazy, from the get-go, but really I feel like it's a culmination of, everything I've been doing in the last 10, 15 years. So I've been a real estate investor through the Bay Area with some Airbnbs in Palm Springs and some long-term rentals in Austin, Texas as well. And then also at the same time, I've been working, predominantly in tech, right, as a product manager at Facebook, and then later an engineering and product leader at Snapchat across ads, content creation, and maps. And so when AI came out, right, and I think it was very obvious, right, that I need to do something that combines AI with the power of short form video. Social media is taking over the world, and basically providing a cost-effective solution for realtors to market their listings without being charged an arm and a leg, especially by the LA-based photographers and videographers out there. And that's how we got started with this about 1.5 years ago, before a lot of the AI tools were even there for more rich forms of media like photo and video, which we're starting to see come out now, but we were just so ahead of the game when we started in 2023.
Yeah, well, that seems like ahead of the game. It was only 2 years ago. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It was only 2 years ago.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, I mean, I've given you my feedback on some of the features. Like, there's you can add your logo, you can add a picture, you can add some font, but you don't have a ton of font choices. And, even like sometimes the writing on top of it, I think cheapens the overall look of it. So what I've done is I would download the video on my phone, do the video on my phone, and then use Canva to create a cover, and then upload both of them into Instagram. And it was take forever. But I guess it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. But for me personally, I think you guys could definitely work on the font part, those other little personal customization things.
The templates.
Yeah, there are no templates. Let's be honest. None of that is it's better with no templates. It's better without anything. Sometimes less is more. Although I'm sure that you're working on some of those things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So for us, we wanted to get the base video as high quality, as engaging as we can. And then now we're starting to work on the bells and whistles. So, I think it took our conversation to heart, Courtney. That was, 2-3 months ago, where you really made it very clear the need for more customization, personalization, and templates, right, to stand out in social media. And so within the next few weeks, we'll launch almost a Canva-like kind of editor experience natively within AutoReel that'll allow you to customize these videos with, templates and a ton of fonts. We'll even have captions coming soon too. AI
Oh,
voiceovers. And so you'll have a whole end-to-end studio built into AutoReel, so you never have to leave the application ever
that's
again
incredible.
to get this done end to end.
So then is your subscription thing going to change? Because right now it's based on how many videos?
Exactly. That's where the cost comes in for the most part. It's the generation of videos and just the cloud and infrastructure costs. The costs for things like the editor and whatnot are negligible in comparison. So we
Really?
want to keep it very value like oriented and very reasonable. We have no employees. It's just me and my co-founder and just, AI to kind of cut through everything else in between so we can pass that value back to end users like yourself.
So you have AI customer service right now?
Yeah, to an extent, we do use AI where possible through email and our support bots and things like that.
So before you brought this product to market, did you market test it with real estate agents?
Yes, we've tested this kind of through different stages of the entire life cycle. So, being a product manager first, didn't build anything before I actually validated it with a kind of large group of realtors. So, I was experimenting with a bunch of different ideas kind of across the board. This one, when I made the phone calls, I probably made about 30 phone calls and got about at least a dozen realtors that were on board and excited about it within that afternoon. And that's when I knew this was a real problem space that, realtors are facing the challenges. Then as we've kind of built it out and iterated on the actual product, we've had essentially those dozen realtors really be kind of our small focus group where we've been running kind of tests and experiments and getting feedback and then working very quickly with them to get
So what's their feedback? Like what's the biggest, best feedback you've gotten?
yeah, I think the feedback we've gotten, it's evolved over time as we've evolved. So first version of this was just an animated slideshow almost. So they said,
Mhm.
hey, we have tools for this, but it's a good problem space. Then once we kind of unlocked the large language models for rich forms of media, such as videos, they had a holy shit reaction. And then once they played with it a little bit more, some of them noticed some of the, things you've called out where it's great for maybe, 90% of the use cases, but 10% you need to keep an eye out for maybe palm trees moving around or a shadow that's moving
Right.
alongside, the camera. So we've been evolving our product just to kind of, address some of those things. So we released the ability to redo a clip. A lot of times that'll fix this thing called hallucination in AI where it will make up things. This is existent through Chat GPT,
Oh
Gemini.
yeah. Oh, I know. Trust me.
Uh,
I've like, oh, they were like, oh my God, the image generation tool for Chat GPT. It's come out. So exciting. It's amazing. It's so much better. It's photorealistic. I'm like, okay, great. So I upload a picture of a house that I'm considering buying, right? But it's kind of ugly on the outside. So I'm like, can you give me like a few renderings of what this would look like with this style, with that style? It's adding windows, it's
yep,
adding archways, it's adding shit that's not there. I'm like, okay, try not to add this like things that aren't there in the original photo. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's so concerned about AI right now, and I know that there is the possibility of it becoming more effective, obviously, in the future. But
yeah.
as it stands right now, it is like stupid. It's not that smart. It needs the human. It really does. And I was listening to a podcast. I was like going to sleep, and it was like this 2017 interview. I think it might have been like Joe Rogan with maybe Alex from InfoWars or something. I'm not even sure. And they were talking about the hive mind and how what is happening right now is that we're training the AI, but we're training the AI with like not our best and brightest intelligence. We're training it with this like the middle. Have you
Yep.
heard of this? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
Is
mean,
that
it's
a concern for you at all? I mean, are you obviously we've got this piece of the AI, that's turning photos into video for social, which is cool. But what about your philosophy on where AI is right now and what the future of it holds? Are you
yeah,
seeing?
I think there's a few parts to this, right? I think one, to your point, absolutely still needs the human touch to this. So AI is not taking away any jobs. It's accelerating your jobs, your workflows, and allowing one person to do more than ever before, right? That's first and foremost thing. I think the second part is garbage in, garbage out. So this is through a few kind of layers, right? Unpacking it. One is just the training data set. So the training data set, it's called overfitting in AI and machine learning, where if you give it kind of bad training data, it then overcorrects and is very much kind of adjusted towards not real world kind of data and inputs. So to your point, if you give it kind of the average data, you'll get kind of results for, kind of average users, which I actually think is the right approach here, because at the end of the day, those are the users that are using this, that are interacting with this. That's why Elon is making strides with Grok, because they have access to the common man data on Twitter or X. And I think that's how you're able to then get results that ordinary people can go and create, but then they need to provide that additional 10 or 11 care for the last 10, 20%, because you can't optimize this to the umpteenth extent, at least not today, right? It needs to handle real world use cases, which means it needs to be battle tested.
Well, you know what you're saying is so important, because in real estate we do deal with data, and there's so much going on in our industry right now. But a lot of the apps that I'm reviewing, like for example, I was going to suggest to you, like, you talked to MLSs about getting your product onto their little like portal. So when agents sign into home, they have like a tools portal. I don't know if you've talked to people about this before, but I did like a little training with, every time I get something that's like, this is a new app that's going to blow your mind, I'm like, okay, I'll do the training. Like, let me see what it's about. I'm so curious about everything. And 5 minutes later, this app is on my MLS platform. I'm like, wait a second. And the problem with it was, and I told the founder this, and I actually recorded a YouTube video about my little experience with this conversation. The CMA data is so wrong. It was millions of dollars off just based on the way you write the prompt, because it's a chat GPT style app, even though it's not chat GPT. And, I'm like, okay, well, is it reading title records? Because there are a lot of people selling houses off market right now. There's like big companies who have a significant portion of their inventory off market. There are also, when you're pulling comps, if like I'm an agent, I need to see the condition of things. And then also what people enter into the MLS as like measured square footage is different than what's in the tax record sometimes. So which one are you using? Like, these questions are all things that I deal with when I'm really doing a CMA. But if you just let an AI app do a CMA, it doesn't know any of this stuff. And it pulls up really random comps. You could run it twice and get totally different numbers. So there's no proof of concept, in my opinion, because our data is wrong and coming out of the MLS anyway, because they're not using tax record data, they're using MLS advertising data. In some states, like in Florida, they measure under air square footage whereas in California, it's supposed to be only finished square footage, like garages are never included. There's just a lot of differences in the way data is even put into these systems. It's so flawed. I'm like, I can see this creating lawsuits. There's like fair housing stuff. I mean, it's messy. It's messy with real estate.
It's the wild, wild west right now.
Well, yeah, it really is. And I'm saying to our industry, we need to vet these apps before they go onto our platforms and people start using them. And this is all in lieu of training. So I'm just telling you this. I'm seeing such a lack of training right now in our industry that I've started a training class. I'm just launching it. I haven't done it yet, but I've created the format and everything, and I'll be launching in the next couple of weeks. But it's essentially a 5-day intensive to teach people how to do the things that the AI is trying to tell us how to do and is doing wrong. So it's like, if we give over this power, it could be just so bad that it increasingly gives us a black eye as real estate agents, but it's just wrong. So it could lead to lawsuits or to whatever, and prevent people from really remembering how to do this job the way it was intended. But going back to you, so I hear you on that bad, like trash in, trash out, because that's really, for real estate, that's so important.
Yep.
The data is the only thing we have, and our MLSs are collecting data in a lot of different ways, and it's not even comprehensive anymore.
Yep.
Are you planning on adding any new features or any other different types of tools to the app?
Absolutely. So I think to your point, our main focus area, at least for the first year, was just nailing the video and getting it to be as good as possible, while assuming that the user is kind of flying blind with it, right? And then working out of that, we're really focused now on the bells and whistles. So we just launched full HD support, a week or two ago. And now, to your point, Courtney, you gave us this feedback that really hit home, and now we've been able to prioritize it. We're building a Canva-like editor that's going to be built into AutoReel. So it's going to be an end-to-end workflow. Right now people will take the AI videos and throw it into CapCut or Canva, but now it's going to be all in AutoReel natively. And we're just going to build out the editor, but then also the template library to make sure that it's a one-stop shop for you to create,
right.
And edit the content.
That was one of my concerns too, was that basically you have to, so what I would do is create the video on AutoReel app, and then I download it and then upload it into Canva, create a cover in Canva, and then merge them together to create a reel on Instagram. It's tedious, man. Yeah. It's a lot. But I love that you're doing that, because I think definitely, it's like really important that it's able to integrate with the other tools that we use. It's another thing that I've been learning as I go down this like real estate AI path, is that there are a lot of tools that do the same thing. Do you know who your like head-to-head competitor is?
Yeah, so I think there's, a few competitors out there. Now, luckily, they all saw us and started copying us just because we started way before all this technology was even available. So we've been very much, ahead, but I think they're seeing the opportunity here. They're seeing people talking about us. And so they're starting to kind of come in. I won't name names
Yeah.
specifically on
No.
this podcast, but what I will say is they're coming more so from the, real estate photographer background. So they're trying to apply technology, but they are video and photo editors and photographers trying to build and implement this technology. You'll see that in
Mhm.
the quality of the product that they're building. Whereas
Mhm.
I'm working on this, coming from the tech first angle, right? Having worked at Snapchat and Facebook, and my co-founder and CTO used to work at Instagram as well. So we're taking the tech and AI first approach into this. You'll also see that just throughout everything around the pricing structure, right? We charge very simple, what you see is what you get per video pricing. Whereas a lot of these AI tools today will actually go with this really opaque credits-based pricing. Hey, you get 500,000 credits. By the way, that's 4 photos and that's $100, right?
Yeah.
You want to go down
Yeah,
that
the
route.
pricing is an interesting thing too. I've noticed that also. Like pricing is kind of all over the place for these tools. For some, it's like I remember my initial reaction, if you remember,
Yep.
to your pricing was, that's high. It's
Mhm.
high. Because like if I pay a videographer to go to the property, it might be like $350, let's say,
Right.
for a nice video reel. But, if I make this myself and I only have 5 photos and then I can only edit it, like really I can't edit it. I can like change the images around, but I can't really like swap things out once I've created the video. The editing component is
Which
like
you
a
can
little.
now, by the way. You can swap things out.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So there you go. I mean, that's
I
a good
hear you.
improvement, because I was like, here I am, I'm spending my credit or whatever. I only
Yep.
get a couple chances at trying to change this. And now I have to buy more credits if I really want to get the outcome that I want. And so when you realize how expensive that can get, then it like feels like cost prohibitive, right? But on the flip side, if you're a real estate agent who only wants to pay for product as you need it, as opposed to like a subscription base where you might not have a listing one month and have 2 listings the next month, then at least you're not spending money on a subscription that you're not using while you're not using it. I guess that's the other thing.
Yep.
So
And we released annual now. So now you can buy a bundle of videos and you can use them throughout the whole year. And it comes with a pretty significant discount as well to provide flexibility for the
yeah,
seasonality.
well, let's talk about where your current pricing is. Let's talk about it right now. We'll obviously drop links in the description and everything for where you guys can get it, and I'll put the pricing in there too. So let's talk about where you're at right now.
Yeah. So our pricing today, again, what we wanted to do was take a look at kind of just the cost of the AI generations today, which I'll admit it's not cheap, but at the same time, we want to provide value for realtors who are traditionally spending $300 or $500 for videos for one listing.
Right.
And so the approach we've taken is essentially coming up with 3 plans, whether it's monthly or annual, to give different levels of flexibility for different uses and use cases, right? So for realtors who are kind of starting out and want to get going with, first set of videos, it starts at $59 a month. So $20 per video. Now, to your point, you do have to put a little bit of your own time and effort into this, right? Maybe 15 to 30 minutes total, probably end to end, from the photo to video to editing and having it be ready to go. Again, that compares to the $300 plus cost for a video alternatively. But that's the $59 plan we have, and that's 3 videos a month. We have a $119 growth plan, which is 10 videos per month, so $12 per video. And then we have Pro, which is $250 a month for 25 videos, so as low as $10 per video.
Okay, so I can't. I was wrong. So I can't do. I have to do a subscription. I can't just buy like a package where I have like 5. I can buy like 5
We don't have
videos.
we don't have ad hoc video creation today because to the reasons you called out, right? We will have to basically provide additional kind of support and assistance for users who are one-offs essentially on the platform and not really
But
investing.
one-offs are valuable too.
And so they absolutely are, but then we'll have to support them on a non-monthly model. We would have to raise the prices and then provide additional help for one individual video compared to those that are kind of with us over a longer period of time. They understand after the first or second video, kind of the do's or don'ts and how to use
Right.
this the best. And you can
Right.
see their kind of support levels go down. If we do just one-offs, it's going to be a lot of kind of questions for one-off use cases. and then they'll kind of go away to until their next listing, maybe 3-4 months later. But annual plans that we have provide more flexibility to create these videos anytime through the year. And it's 20 videos that you can start off with through the year, which is much more flexible for realtors who are just getting going.
Okay, perfect. So I have another question for you. Like, as far as other app founders out there, people who have ideas about creating tech that they can then sell to real estate agents, where have you found to be the most successful marketing platform? Like, which are the most successful marketing platforms for you? Where are you getting the majority of your business and awareness from?
So for us, I'm not a sales guy organically. I'm more of a tech and product guy. And the kind of fastest path to growth for us has been two avenues. One, the real estate photographers that actually serve the realtors. Realtors are so busy trying to deal with clients. They're on the road, they're driving. I think the last time we had our conversation, you were driving somewhere, right?
Always.
And so you're busy, right? But real estate photographers, they do this day in, day out. They can invest in these monthly tools that they need to support their business, and they can pass along this value to realtors just like yourself. So rather than charging $300 or up to $1,000 for some of the high-end videos, now this is a new category of videos where they're selling it to realtors for $40, $50, and they're taking care of this end to end. So it's a win for them and it's a win for realtors. And through that, a lot of these photographers will have hundreds of realtor clients that they work with within their local region. And so it's kind of a win-win-win for
Dude,
AutoReel.
when I saw that one on Instagram, it's like, I'm now offering this service. I was like, that's AutoReel App, man. That's charging me for that. No, 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 no.
That's the exact play. And like, it
Yeah,
depends
okay.
on like, do you want to spend 20-30 minutes yourself, or do you want to pay the photographer maybe
Yeah, I
40,
mean,
50 bucks
listen,
for it?
definitely the target demographic for AI tools for real estate agents, and this, I don't think this part is thought out very well, is what I'm saying, is that you don't know just off the whip whether or not I am middle-aged, successful real estate agent who doesn't have a lot of time to go deeply into each of these apps. That's what I'm trying to prove with my channel, is that you might have created an extraordinary app, but if you don't understand that I'm not going to sit here for an hour and a half and watch a webinar on how to use every single tool of your product, it's either going to be I go in, I can figure it out and get the outcome I want quickly and it saves me time, or I'm not going to use it. Like, it's not, there's no middle ground with people who can actually afford these types of tools. A lot of the
Right.
younger agents are either, things are cost prohibitive in a market like this, like the market is very challenging right now, or they already have something where they're doing not this, but like there are other things in these tools where you're like, they don't need Opus, video, captions. Like, they don't need all of those to do their clips. They only need one. Whereas here I am, like, I'm like, let me see what this one can do. Let me see what that one can do. And, I mean, all that I'm saying is I don't know that all the tech developers understand that the people they're selling to might be a little bit older than them, might be in a different, like, have a different attention span than they do with regard to this kind of stuff. Real estate is a tactile industry. We deal with real houses, real paper, real experiences, real in-person interactions. We're still real.
Yep.
So it has to be something that doesn't take our humanity away. And that's a challenge for all of the AI that I see, whether it's how ChatGPT is writing listing descriptions and people are just like copying and pasting that and it's trash, or even how there are some apps that want to use QR codes for sign in. I'm like, no, you ruin the moment of me talking to you and you seeing me and understanding I'm an expert, and I have valuable information. That's my moment. That's our water cooler moment. That's our meet cute in a romantic comedy. That's our opportunity to like engage, look into each other's eyes deeply and say, will you marry me, realtor? Yes, I will. I will help you find a house, or whatever. Like, it's these moments that still humanize us, and we can't QR code our job away and expect people to be satisfied with the outcome.
Yep.
To that point, then what are your favorite AI tools other than the one you've made?
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm absolutely biased towards my own AI tools. I've actually run into the same experiences as you, and maybe this is an indication of me getting a little bit older too. I started out the gate really excited, trying all the things, across, right? I had a Claude membership, Chat GPT, but I tried out Captions AI, which was founded by a former Snapchatter. It's a $250 million business. My first two videos failed to generate. And the third one I created with Captions AI, it was really kind of gimmicky and glitchy. And I
Right.
gave it a shot for a month and I canceled. And so
Yep.
I've tried a lot of these, but I've realized it's not there 100% yet. And I kind of dialed it back to the tried and tested. It's just ChatGPT that I
Right.
use today, and I'm just praying for a better day tomorrow.
Right. I mean, and ChatGPT still has generation trouble
Yep.
too. Like it'll be like, sorry, some coding failed. I'm like, some coding failed. Aren't you supposed to be ChatGPT? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like it's kind of overhyped. And I'm like, okay, wait a second. Is there like a news angle here? Like, why is it so overhyped? Is this are they trying to scare us? Like, I don't under if you think like a lot of successful marketing is based on fear, like fear of being left behind, fear of being left out, fear of failure, fear of losing your job, fear of whatever, and now I can sell you a product. So is this it? Is like there's an entire industry-wide conspiracy for anybody who's creating AI tools to say you either get with the program or you are going to be left behind. And I feel like that works on real estate agents a lot, but it's also like walking into a Target. Sometimes you just get lost in the aisles and you're like, shit, I got a lot of stuff in my cart. I don't really want to buy all this stuff, but I'm going to because
Yep.
otherwise I'm never going to get out of here. And it's 4 hours later and I'm like, what did I even buy? So that's how I feel about AI. Like right now with most of the apps, Blaze AI, for example, Blaze.ai, it has this really cool, like super comic book character, Superwoman, Superman, like retail marketing. It's really good. It seems like it would be great for retail marketing, but so is Canva.
Yep.
If Canva is the chat GPT of graphic design tools, like it's accessible, it's plugged into everything, it's easy to navigate. I have no problem finding what I need to find. I know how to make things look the way I want them to look very
You
quickly.
just launched AI, all the AI features just a couple days ago with the newest release in Canva. So now I've deleted all the other apps that I was using and I'm using
Yeah.
Canva more. But now it's
It's like
overwhelming. There's so much in
there's
Canva.
so much. You don't need something else. Okay, so I did a test. I haven't released it yet, but I did Claude versus Chat GPT for writing letters, for
Yeah.
tone, for accuracy, just to see like if I give it specific tone stuff, like what it does with that. And Chat GPT won. I'm
Yeah.
like, I used to think Claude was like the cooler, the cooler younger sister of Chat
Yeah.
GPT or something. Like it had this like better branding and felt more like it got the tone right. But Chat GPT has caught up slash exceeded. And Claude is always like, sorry, I can't research that for you. I'm not going to be able to look that up for you. I can't read the website for you. I'm like, then what the
Yep.
hell's the point?
Yeah.
If
What are
you
we doing
can't
here?
read my website, like you can do these exercises where you go and you like type in your name and ask it to create a bio for you. And it's like, sorry, I can't scan the internet for you. I'm like, okay, well then you're not good for me. You're not my research tool of choice.
Yep.
I'm canceling you.
Yeah, and they're all leapfrogging each other, right? So you say that until Cloud comes out with 3.7, and now they're saying it's agentic, and then you go back to try it out, and then you're just switching between the two, and it ends up being a distraction after a while too.
I mean, all I do is switch between all these different. I literally, when I'm going to clip something, I put it into all of them just to see what comes
Okay.
out.
Yeah.
I put it into all of them. I'm just like trying things. But what it can't get is it doesn't do great editing. It can't get momentum right. It's definitely limited. It's definitely limited. But, that's why I like that you're so focused on just perfecting what it is that your tool is. Because even with the little errors that are in there, given the attention span of people on shorts, what it is it's visually interesting. Like you
Mhm.
can follow, you flow with the video, and it kind of feels like a tour, but it doesn't linger too long. It doesn't do stupid split screens. If there's no editorial voice other than my own, so I feel like I get to choose the flow and how it feels, and if I don't like it, then I can change it, and that's really important because with videos, typically they charge you or it takes time, and you're like trying to market the property. Social is a big part of that. And we're taking all this time going back to the photographer who's really a photographer, not a video editor, who's probably outsourcing it on Fiverr to somebody else who's taking too
Yep.
long to get back to him. You know
Just
what I
to keep
mean?
up. Yeah.
It's tedious.
Yeah.
So to me, it does alleviate a pain point. It saves money. It's not creating the exact same product as a videographer. So you
Mhm.
have to make sure you have high quality images to get high quality output. That's definitely 100% true. And with the case of Acme, we do a lot of vignette shots that are verticals. In fact, we're like the first real estate firm in Los Angeles since 2008. Like I don't even know what they were doing before that, but we were shooting for social media. And finally some people have caught up. So now some photographers just do it. I see those pictures out there. But if you're an agent who doesn't have a photographer shooting verticals for you, then you're going to be letting AutoReel app choose the frame from your rectangular photo down to your vertical, and that could cause some strange kind of framing. So my recommendation to you guys out there who are looking to try this out is make sure that you're using all vertical images if you are trying to have an exported vertical video for social media. There is a horizontal image option as well. And of course, you want to use the horizontal images for that option and you'll get the better outcome. But to me, this is meant for social media. So, I don't know when you would be posting it in like a rectangle form.
Yeah, we see it on YouTube sometimes. Like people will want the
Oh, do
horizontal
they?
for YouTube, and then we'll see the vertical for social media. But to your point, not everyone has caught on to even taking vertical photos. So people are
I
trying to
know.
find their way around that. So you're definitely
I
early
know.
on. You're probably still early on it, which is shocking to me.
Which,
It's one
yeah, because we've been doing it for 10 years. But you know what? They don't call me Courtney the trendsetter for nothing. Well, is there any other thoughts or comments that you'd like to share with the audience around this product and what the future looks like? I love the Canva integration. Anything else you can think of that you want to share with them?
Yeah. No, absolutely. So, I think you've called it out. We have a maniacal focus towards just video, at least for today, right? Really nailing not just the core video, but the bells and whistles. Of course, you give a mouse a cookie, they want the milk with it. So the photographers are saying they want 4K, they want more control over the cameras and pans and movements. So those are things we're kind of thinking about while balancing how do we minimize artifacting, glitching, and hallucination, because we have to deal with the tech side, right? It's easy to make those requests and demands, but another thing on our kind of roadmap for second half of this year is expanding beyond just you bring us photos and we create the video, and you'll be able to edit your photos within AutoReel as well. So you give us a photo, we will do the upscaling, declutter, give it the lighting, maybe even virtually stage it, and then
Ooh, so you're going to kind of be a merger of Box Brownie.
to an extent, exactly.
Like
So
we'll be able to take stuff off the countertops using like a magic AI.
exactly,
Ooh,
exactly.
that's delicious. I
All in
love
one.
that.
Yeah, it'll be all in one for photos through video and everything that happens in between in post production.
Box Brownie better watch out because I have a feeling I understand how they do what they do, but for agents, like we're outsourcing that, like the post photo editing, obviously, like especially if it's like, I figured out how to do it in Canva with background remover and then adding a new sky.
Yep.
I'm sure that there are AI tools that could do it more photorealistically than I ever actually get it. Still always looks a little weird, like cut out.
At least yours is real, right? All the AI tools will change some of the windows or doorways. And
Yeah, but I'll have the house. It's real. Yeah.
yeah,
But I love the idea that you could take some of those tools. For example, my social media gal like posted a picture and I was like, why'd you post that picture? It has like an electrical panel, like right in the middle of the picture. And the rest of the picture is cool. But I'm like, that panel is like right there. I'd rather get rid of the panel. So at least you're seeing it. And I can add like, AI tags or whatever. But at least you're not staring like face to face with a electrical panel. And I think these are the things that real estate agents see that maybe even home buyers don't see. What I was trying to say before is that even with those little glitchy things, at the end of the day, given the attention span of people on social, they're not picking up all of those little strange little errors unless they're really studying the AI. But I think overall, what you get is this, it's different. It feels different. The angle it comes down at goes back. It just has like a cool rhythm and it feels different. And I really do love that. I think people linger on those videos a little bit longer.
absolutely. And time and place for everything, right? So multi-million-dollar listings absolutely go with the multi-thousand-dollar production. But if you've got 10, 20 minutes and you want to spin something up to market your listing in a attractive kind of teaser model, as you called out, it's a really great way to at least get started with that.
Well, listen, I know you know some real estate agents, but I got to tell you something. As part of the training that I do with my agents, we actually have an open house exercise where we go out to multi-million-dollar listings, to cheaper price listings. There are multi-million-dollar, $10 million listings that just have MLS printouts on the counter. They aren't even using like flyers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. So like so many. So don't presume that just because this isn't an expensive tool that it doesn't work for luxury. I think you said it best when you said it worked like trash in, trash out. But the opposite is also true. If you've got something beautiful going in, you are going to get a beautiful output. And so if the more expensive listings in your market are beautiful, which I presume they would be, unless they're $20 million fixers, you're going to get a good outfit, but no matter what. And I think the main thing is it just doesn't feel so stiff as some real estate videography does, or like
Yep.
predictable, I guess. So it just kind of gives you like, it's like, oh, there's something about it. You'll see. You guys will see whenever you check out AutoReel app. AutoReelApp.com. It has a desktop platform, and you can also use it on your phone. Is there an actual app for the phone, or do you just go on on your Safari on the phone? I think I use the Safari on
Just
the phone.
Safari for today. Applications coming later,
Okay.
but it's the domain that was available. So
Yeah,
we
listen,
switched
I
to
like the desktop. I'm down. My phone is like, please no more apps. Like, I don't want to see another app. Please don't.
exactly,
Okay, well,
exactly.
thank you so much for joining me today on Real Estate AI Coach. Y'all, we'll put the contact information and the link to the app down in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.
All right.
Cheers.
Thank you so much. Cheers.